Hey guys, this is your fiery friend the Infernoman here, and if you're into games, you're right where you need to be. But before we get into it, if you like the content that I put out there, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit me up with a like, or even better, subscribe to me. It really shows that people do care about my content. Now, if you have questions, comments, stuff you'd like to see played or discussed, you can @me on Twitter or chat directly with me as I stream 2 to 3 times a week on Twitch. A visual link for those are up on the screen right now, and I will have direct links in the details below. So here's actually what I want to go over first. And we're actually going to go over the state of the game. I'm going to read it all out. So first off, Forge Your Legends. So we're just going to read this off, and I'm going to just kind of put my little input on here. If anybody, again, wants to put in their input, feel free to let me know. So, Forge Your Legends. You've seen the cards. You've learned the mechanics. You've read the story. And starting next week, you'll be able to brave the cosmos and travel the realms, seeking glory and battle, and for some of you, reliable cellular service. Okay. We'll talk about mobile in a bit. Our upcoming January game update brings the highly anticipated Viking-inspired plane of Kaldheim to Magic the Gathering Arena, and it brings MTGArena to the uncharted realms of pants pockets, couch potatoes, and socially distanced public transit. As with all sagas, a tale is told over time, and today our story begins with a card set. Alright, so first off, Kaldheim on MTGArena. Kaldheim will see a return to familiar mechanics like sagas and modal double-face cards, the new 2 MTGArena super type, Snow, and 2 brand new mechanics, Foretell and Boast. Talk about Boast real quick. So, casting a card with Foretell uses an interface similar to an adventure card or a card with Kicker. While you always cast a spell as normal anytime during your turn, you can play 2 and exile a card with Foretell face down in Magic the Gathering Arena, which means it'll appear as a near-hand castable. I did an earlier video a little while ago on that regarding Foretell. It kind of feels like, again, most of you guys probably know, it's like a combination of suspend/morph with the face down part, and of course casting the spell at a later turn. So we'll see if this actually ends up becoming something we're all going to be like, this is exciting, or are we going to hate it in a couple months? But anyways, let's continue. Let's see. All right, so you can target a face-down card to see additional information, such as modified casting cost, whether it is exiled this turn, and the helpful reminder is that a Foretell card in exile is private information. Your opponent will just see the card back. All right, let's just hope that doesn't actually get broken on Arena. There's a lot of stuff they still need to fix, and don't get me started. I'm going to do a small rant on mobile in a little bit. Since you can foretell a card anytime during your turn, this does allow you to pay the cost and exile the card at times where you would otherwise be unable to cast it. Using our friend here, Augury Raven, you can foretell a notably flashless creature card mid-combat, though the normal creature version is grayed out. This will be interesting to see how the mechanics are going to work regarding this. This one actually I'm a little bit more interested in Boast. Kind of reminds me of, to a degree, the Raid ability in a similar sense. A Boast ability is an activated ability that can be activated once a turn, but only if the creature that has the ability has attacked this turn. Did you attack with the creature this turn? If yes, you can boast about it. Activate the ability by clicking the card and paying the additional boast cost. If not, you'll have nothing to boast about. The one thing you guys got to remember, again, and I've talked about this in my beginner videos, was the don't forget to go full control when you, I'm guessing when you do the boast thing, because something tells me some people, and I'm sure this is going to happen to me too, I'm going to misclick. And I feel like they'll skip over the boast mechanic during the phases in combat. So we'll have to be aware of how that works out down the line, you and me all. As a reminder, you can activate the boast ability anytime in the turn after a creature was declared as an attacker. This includes during the attack step. Let's get over to the interesting part here. Snow-covered basic lands. All right. Last thing to cover in our Kaldheim Snow and Tell. The returning to Magic but new to MTGArena super type, Snow. As discussed in the Kaldheim mechanic article, Snow doesn't really do anything by itself, but it can be referred to by other cards in various ways. When tapping a Snow mana source, we'll track the mana separate in your mana pool. You can see in the picture right here, they got it up here. Even if you're producing the same color of a mana type as a non-Snow type. For those of you who want to know how to add these super nice basic lands to your collection, here's 2 ways to go about it. All players will be granted snow-covered basic lands as part of the Kaldheim Basic Land Grant for use in constructed play. During limited events, Draft and Sealed, players will only have access to snow-covered lands from their limited card pool. For Kaldheim, limited boosters will contain 15 cards, 1 rare mythic, 3 uncommons, 10 commons, 1 land card. The land could either be a snow-covered basic land or a snow-covered dual land. Pretty cool, right? There's snow stopping about it. All right, here's the interesting one for me, though. Magic goes mobile. So what's better than proving your worth and forging your legend as you unleash the power of Kaldheim to save the world tree from chaos? Proving your worth and forging your legend as you unleash the power of Kaldheim to save the world tree from chaos and in comfort of privacy of your privy. Starting January 28th, which is next week, all Magic of Kaldheim will fit into the palm of your hand. Where's my phone? Ah. Android Early Access, see necessary specs, will begin on January 28th, 2021 with the release of Kaldheim. So real quick, I looked over once again the requirements and the weakest of weakest phones you can use right now to play this game. If you have any phone from at least any good phone from mid 2019, summer 2019, I believe the cheapest, weakest one you can get, I think is like around where, I think it was the LG V35. That's old now. In terms of tech, that's pretty old. But that's the oldest one. Or if you want to look at a more mainstream phone, I would say then I think that would be the Note 9. Anything weaker than the Note 9, you might not be able to play this game. At least that's what they say. Which kind of stinks for me because if you can see, I actually have a BlackBerry. Yes, I'm that person. So I'm using actually a BlackBerry Key 2. My phone will not run this game, which makes me a little sad. So I would love to play this and give my better thoughts on it, but I don't have a phone that works with it yet. So we'll see what I can do to get that online. I'll see if I can get somebody to help me out with that. But anyways, let's continue on. Additional lower specs, Android devices, iOS, and tablet support will be coming later this year. The keyword here is later this year. So that could mean anywhere between, I don't know, March to maybe it might be next December. Same account, same collection, cross-platform play. Cool. Still have any questions? Head over to our dedicated mobile fact to find answers. Mostly what I just kind of told you already is what you just need. As long as you have a phone that's above the Note 9 in terms of age, you should be fine to play Magic mobile. But my bigger question is, how's it going to burn up our phones? I only say that because for those of you guys out there that do play mobile games, you already know even some of the more mid-tier games out there on your phones tends to burn up your phone and your battery pretty quick. And if you've all played MTGArena like I have many times, your computer, no matter how good or bad it is, still gets a heart attack. So I don't know why. I sure hope that this means they're going to optimize the client much better. Please, Wizards, please do that, okay? I don't want to deal with... we're going to hear reports of melting phones in the future. Just watch. Anyways, let's continue on. You will also find plenty of screenshots and descriptions to guide your way through the various sagas of mobile gameplay below, which we're going to look at right now. But for those of you who want the abridged version, it's MTGArena on your phone. Duh. Clicks become taps, scrolls become swipes, and all the gameplay you love and most of the features will be at your little fingertips. So as continuing on, let's start with the most important part, playing Magic. We made various adjustments to the battlefield layout to balance playing on a smaller and slightly more rectangular aspect ratio that mobile devices use, such as changing the size and location of the player avatars. I really hope that they actually take this idea they have for mobile and kind of apply this to the client on computer soon. What I would love to see them do is similar to what you can do with Magic Online. And for there, you can actually adjust the window size a lot more. So it makes it a lot more easier for various types of monitor shapes and sizes. And many people out there are, I'm sure some of you guys out there are already playing on ultra wide, which is kind of funky with how the client works here. So hopefully in the future they'll readjust that, but something we have to go into. Gameplay is very similar to what you see on the desktop, albeit with touch controls. For example, when determining your opening hand, you tap the respective button or to keep or to mulligan, and if you choose the latter, you tap to select and drag cards to the library of your hand. Makes perfect sense. Tapping each respective zone, graveyard, library, exile, etc. will bring up the browser that allows you to inspect any known cards, as well as see the current number of cards in that zone. We recommend playing a few bot matches against Sparky to familiarize ourselves with some of the controls and the layout difference. I would love to do a video on this, but if I don't have the phone to work with it, I won't be able to do that for you guys. So we'll see what we can do down the line. All right, cards in hand, casting spells, and you. Periodically during the match, your hand may appear tucked and give you a better view of the battlefield. Tapping the cards in your opponent's hand will fan them out, making them easier to read and select. Tapping and holding a card allows you to see in detail, like mousing over a card when playing on the desktop. Tapping the battlefield will tuck them away once more. This automatically tuck and untuck behavior where the game will do the work for you. Our goal was to make it feel relatively natural as soon as you start playing it. However, you always have the option to tuck or expand as you deem fit. Mana can be tapped in your mana pool manually, or you can take advantage of the auto tap feature. Tap and hold to select a card, then drag it over to the battlefield to cast it. I really hope this is as intuitive as they make it sound, because it sounds like it's all fine and dandy right now, but we're going to see next week how many people are going to be throwing their phones across the way, depending on how auto tap and all that jazz works. Okay, combat control. During the combat phase, you select the creatures you wish to attack by tapping them. When declaring blockers, tap your creatures, then tap the creatures you wish to block, or tap and drag from your creature to the creature you wish to block. Additional gameplay settings. Tap your avatar to use emotes and to view your timeouts, and select and or hold your avatar to enable or disable full control. Tap your opponent's avatar if you wish to mute them or see their timeouts. I mute everybody. I've gotten tired of the point, and I don't know about you guys out there, but I mute everybody. So if you ever watch me on stream, you don't see anything from my side or my opponent's side. I just don't want to deal with that stuff anymore. So if you ever play against me, nope. You ain't seeing any of my reactions. Heaven forbid if we get to the day when we actually have a chat feature for the game. Ugh. Anyways, additional gameplay options are available under the settings menu, which you can access by tapping the cog wheel in the top right. And of course, the big thing, deck building. Viewing your collection and deck building is very similar to the experience on desktop, with previously mentioned changes for touch controls. You swipe left or right to browse through your collection, tap the cards to add or remove them from your main deck, and tap the sideboard buttons to toggle between your deck and the sideboard. Makes sense? You'll be able to sort your collection using all tools available on desktop, including search or advanced filters. When deck building on a mobile device, we currently only support the layout as shown. 2 of rows of cards when viewing your collection. List of your full deck. So you can see that right there. So it's going to look more or less. You'll be able to participate in all current events on mobile devices, including player draft. During the draft, tapping once will select the card on your current pack. You can confirm your pick by either quickly double tapping on the card or selecting the card and dragging it to your list. All right, again, hope this is intuitive. Upcoming features, sideboarding during draft. We do want to call out that for Android Early Access, you will not be able to sideboard during the drafting portion of draft events, Premier, Quick, and Traditional Draft. All the cards you draft will be appearing as part of your main board list until the draft is complete, and you will begin deck building. Small thing right there, but kind of important to pay attention to, again, if you are a person that likes to draft a lot, so that is good to know. We will add the ability to sideboard during an in-progress draft later, and almost everything else. As we noted in our announcement article, Android Early Access will be available to all players with compatible devices everywhere MTGArena and Google Play stores are currently available. You will be able to log in with your existing Wizards account, or use your current collection, play with your existing deck, and swap in between mobile and desktop devices as you prefer. Direct challenges will be available, although other social features such as friend lists, direct messaging will not be available until later this year. All right, Wizards, I'm holding you to that. Additionally, code redemption is not available on mobile devices. Ooh, that's something to pay attention to, guys. So if you're trying to get codes or whatever, you're going to have to still do them on the desktop. You're still going to have to do it on your actual laptop, whatever. You can't do it on mobile, at least not yet. For more technical and account information, please check out our dedicated mobile FAQ. All right, so there you go. It's Magic on your phone. Okay, now to address the Scoot Swarm in the system. And this is, again, the point I'm going to get to right now. So yes, some of Magic can be rather complex. There may be deck or board states that aren't as conductive on mobile play due to intrinsic limitations of the platform. So what does that basically mean? In other words, they're basically telling you, right here is your phone might have some issues and hiccups as we play the more complex games. You know, the games where you're playing multiple triggers with stuff in Historic, those Scoot Swarms, making all those tokens, all the life gain triggers off of things. So be aware of that going forward with this. I'm still going to assume that this is not going to be perfect when it comes out for mobile, and none of you should expect this to be perfect. Expect the same kind of hiccups we've been going through already for the past two and some years with Magic Arena. I really hope that they make this more cleaner as they go on, because I don't want to get my hair pulled out for this. I mean, jeez. Although I do need a haircut, though. Anyways, so as they read on, however, for the potential for explosive, complicated gameplay is what makes Magic Magic. We do not intend to change how we approach Magic design to specifically accommodate mobile play, nor do we wish to provide a limited, watered-down mobile experience. Instead, our goal is to optimize and make improvements to the gameplay experience across all platforms so that playing on your phone is just another and to the Magic experience. We're most of the way there, and you'll see improvements in the months ahead as we expand our supported devices. So, okay, I'm going to again hold you to that, Wizards. And the reason why is, if any of you guys have played out there, all the watered down clients over the years, the stuff that was like, you know, Duels of the Planeswalkers and stuff like that, that was on consoles. And I forgot the mobile one. There was a mobile one that came out, I believe, in 2014 or 2015. I tried that one for a bit. I had fun with it, but jeez, those were rough times for trying to get us to that point. Here's the spicy part for me, the developer roadmap. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. I actually do want to talk about this. All right, developer roadmap. So coming soon, i.e. now. Android Early Access, Kaldheim. All right, so we're a week away. We're going to talk about in another video, I might do another stream on this later on, where I'm going to talk directly about the Kaldheim cards. Other words, if you watch my channel, I focus mostly on the commons and uncommons. So we're going to go over the commons and uncommons in another point, which we'll discuss. But here's the interesting parts. Okay, so in development, Historic Anthology 4. So let's hope that the card pool will give us answers that we really do need in Historic. I've said this many times already, and I do want to talk about it. So we've gotten Thoughtseize since Amonkhet. That wasn't part of the anthology, but it was introduced into Historic, which has made a great amount of change in the way that Historic is played. That card is now played, I think, over 50% of the meta, which is huge. So we need more. If we're going to push this kind of power level for Historic, what we really need to do is really start looking at trying to incorporate more cards that are in that balance. So we're talking about those cards such as the Lightning Bolts that I've stressed so much that should be added now to Historic, the Path of Exile that should be added in. Those are the cards that we really do need in this. If you think I'm right or wrong, be sure to leave a comment. I will be putting this again on YouTube a little bit later on. The other parts, iOS support, obviously. Tablet support, okay. Minimum specs for Android launch. All right, let's see how weak they can make this work on weaker phones. I do actually have another phone, an LG V20, which came out in late 2016, 2017. That's an old phone. If they can make this work on there, I would be sold. But let's see. And of course, Strixhaven, which comes out, I believe, in April. So that's obviously the next set. In concept. So in other words, what they're saying right here is this is what they're trying to put together right now. The idea is still there. Pioneer Masters. Okay. The more time goes on, the more I'm starting to have to accept that Pioneer is not coming as soon as I would love it to. I would love to have Pioneer this year. We're talking like the rest of it, but realistically, seeing how fast Wizards is going right now, they're not going as fast as expectation is, nor should any of you be expecting this, considering how slow it's been to get some of the stuff that we've gotten over the past year in Magic Arena. All right, next, collection interface improvements. Hopefully that's a thing. I really wish that they actually made that more of a priority, along with Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. All right, we'll see how that goes. Deck sharing. I would love to have that. That sounds like it'd be fun, but it again is going to come down to how much of a priority that Wizards wants to make this. And then finally, of course, Played Blade rework. Okay, so what they're meaning is right here. So in other words, fixing this. And I'm going to say right now, this is super convoluted right now. Even I have a hard time trying to figure out where everything is. Like all the stuff right here. And the way they have it done right now, you can play on arena play modes, but that limits literally everything to just the bare minimum. Always have it turned on to all play modes so that way you don't miss anything. But you can see right here, there's so much going on right now. They need to redo this menu now. The way they're saying it right now, when it's going to be in concept. So let's go back. And the fact that they're thinking about this down the line, this needs to be one of those things they need to fix now. So some of these things I would say should be reprioritized. That's just my opinion. If you guys agree or disagree with me, let me know. Okay, so the year ahead. While we're off to a big start, it's just the beginning. In addition to these major milestones, you can also expect bug fixes and the quality of life improvements in the weeks and months ahead. All right, same thing again. I really hope that this is actually going to be something that they actually focus on a lot. So before we get started with today's game, I really hope, though, we get more quality of life things. I would say, first off, the most important priority for Magic Arena is you need better quality of life updates. You need to make sure the client actually runs in a more smoother way. Because if you've seen some of the streams, I've seen other streams too, the game still does hiccups. It hiccups a lot where it goes off into a, like it'll stall for a second and then it keeps playing. It's just, I don't know why it does that. And I've seen it either on also high-end models, so I'll never understand why they do that. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my quick little mini analysis of reading this whole article over. That was actually a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But anyways, let's hope that Kaldheim is going to be enjoyable. I want to be optimistic, just like how I was optimistic a year ago when we got Theros, and then we all got Uro, and that was not fun. So I don't know about you guys, but I really do hope it gets better. All right. So if you enjoy that, again, be sure to like and subscribe. You can see, of course, I'm going to have all that stuff right up here. Be sure to check it out again if you like me on any of these platforms. If you want to chat with me, that's what I got Twitter for. If you want to see the replays of any of this stuff, check it out on YouTube, of course. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if I helped you out. You learned something, or at least entertained you. And until next time, when in doubt, be sure to check them out. So for those of you that were here for that, later.